You know who it is, folks. You absolutely know who it is, your favorite person's favorite person. Let's hop right into this thing. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know. If you're watching this live, then, well, heck, hope the sun is shining wherever you are. If not on the outside, then on the inside. It's in the PM right now on the East Coast, and I couldn't be happy to be here with you all. So thank you for being here with me. Now, let's hop into this. What does this mean? Why would it be important to increase your income? Why are different streams or different opportunities important for you? As we all know, we are in this crazy thing called the world. In different parts of the world, there are different types of, I don't know, pandemics happening, illnesses happening, taxes are going up. Everything seems to be going up, but what you're getting paid at your job. So, in any way, shape, and form, it's really important to do our best to try and add some kind of income to what you're already doing. And this one, I'm going to encourage you all to think about how you can make income with what you already know. All too often, that's what we forget about is how can we make money with what we already know. Also, shout out, this is my first time using YouTube Live, so I'm going to be doctoring through some things. You'll see me looking down, figuring things out, but I'm glad you're here with me as we discuss these 5 ways. And I also want to say, the work has to be done. So none of these 5 things I'm going to share with you are going to be lightning in a bottle. Maybe they're things you've heard of before. I'm going to give them a little bit more context so you understand them and that you're willing to take some kind of action because it's going to take you. It's going to take you. Like, you're going to have to do something. There's a whole lot of money out here. There's a whole lot of money out here. And sometimes we think there's a whole lot of money, so it must be a scam and it's may not be above board. But what we have to understand first and foremost is ourselves and the limiting belief that we might have, that you might have. You might be thinking that, oh, this is for everyone else and not for me. Oh no, this only happens when you have billions of dollars or millions of dollars in funding, or a rich uncle or a rich dad or a rich grandma that gave you money, and that's how you get started. We're not jumping into the millions. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking to you about how to add extra 5 figures of income. That can be done, especially if you can do some simple math and be willing to do the work, because guess what? Work works. Okay? Work works if you work it. Okay? Work works if you work it. Now, some of these things you've heard of before, but what I want you all to keep in mind as we work through this is think about what you already know. Think about what you already know how to do. Think about the skill set that already exists within. That's what I want you to do. Okay? I don't want you to, if I mention something, you'd be like, well, I heard that you can make a lot of money in stocks and bonds. And when you do that, then no, that's not what I want you to do. I don't want you to be thinking like, oh, you know what? If I could just learn how to trade in the SMIP and the SAP and all those other things, if I could just get in Wall Street, then I can make. If I could just go to real estate, yeah, that's it. If I could just do real estate, no, 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 no. I'm not talking about that. I am talking about what you already know. That's what I need you to do. So before we hop into this, I need you to begin to think about what you know. And you might be watching this and maybe you consider yourself more of a negative person, or you are typically a pessimist. Right now is that moment where I'm going to ask you to get over yourself, because it's not about that. Okay? I don't have any talent. Maybe that's your talent, talking about how little talent you have. Okay? This is about the cans, not the cannots. It's about the can do's, okay? These are 5 simple things, and we're going to work through these. We're going to talk through these. So if you have any questions, feel free to throw them in the comments or leave a comment about them. But remember, these are going to be 5 simple things. Some of them you heard of before, but I want you to base these off of what you already know. And then the last one is my favorite, and I'm completely biased, I could tell you that. So number 1, and I think people forgotten about this because the world, especially during the pandemic was really ebook crazy. But number one is ebook, okay? But again, sometimes we see what someone else did, like, I want to make something like that. But the truth is, if you're thinking about something that you're good at, it should be within your wheelhouse. Otherwise, you'll lose a passion for it anyway. So if your thing isn't how to make money on the internet, then don't make that your thing. If you've never made money on the internet, then don't let your thing be, I'm going to teach people how to make money on the internet. You've not done that before. Heck, I'll tell you this. So I had a Latin dance studio. I wrote a book about, salsa rhythm, finding your rhythm in life. I did that. I salsa danced. I used that. So it's using what you have, using a skill. And an ebook doesn't have to be a long ebook, but at least it's something you can offer someone. You can make it one time and then use it over and over and over and over again. Are you willing to do that? Again, the work works, but you have to work. I'll say that again. The work works, but you have to work. You know what I mean? So when we're talking about, and also I'll use the bad word that some people don't like to use or think about. They feel like they're cheating, but artificial intelligence, ChatGPT and Google GT, I don't know. I'm just really familiar with ChatGPT. But with these kind of resources now, there's no excuse not to get something done. Between ChatGPT and Canva, there's no excuse not to get something done. Come on now. Something. Okay. So you're thinking about a book. I have, a couple ebooks. One Paid to Speak, the other Mindset Secrets, What You Think But Never Say. Some of them are more like workbooks also, but my point is, the work is going to work if you work it. You just have to be willing to work it. Okay? Cool. Number 2, got my notes here. I want to make sure I don't forget anything. Some kind of service-based business. Now, again, this is one of those things where think about the thing that people don't want to do or where you're willing to stand in the gap. You know, it's wild. This is kind of semi-random. I think about, childcare, and the cost of childcare has gone up. Like whatever, it's about to be presented on Congress. It's going up so ridiculously. It's gone up. I mean, it's maddening how high childcare is. And I'm talking about like daycares and stuff. So I don't know. Are you good with kids? You can learn to be. If you could be a service-based nanny, babysitter, willing to spend time with kids. If there are folks in your network that's looking for that, again, I'm stating this is just one example of a service-based business. There are tons of examples of service-based. So you have to think within your wheelhouse, what are you willing to do? What are you good at? Hell, are you good at cleaning? Again, because we also have to remember this. This doesn't have to be something sexy, but we have to be willing to do what we have to do until we can do what we want to do. That's really important. Sometimes you may get on the internet and you see people living nice and living large, driving nice cars, living in a big home. Yeah, I want that. Yes. But something comes before that. Something comes before that. Okay? You have to do what you have to do until you can do what you want to do. That means that job that's like less sexy, that gets less attention, where there's less fanfare. That's what we must do. I gave salsa lessons. When I first started giving dance lessons, I wasn't a pro. I wasn't the best salsa dancer on the planet. But guess what? I was better than the people I was teaching. That's all I needed. That's all I needed. I didn't even claim to be the best. I didn't even claim to be the best because I wasn't. But I was better than the people who needed my help. That's it. And people say that, but they don't give you an example. I'm giving you an example. I had a Latin dance studio on the border of Mexico. Okay, it was the first and only one for a while I was there, that I knew of at least. And it was jumping. It was amazing. But I started out teaching beginners. I knew that much. I was confident in that wheelhouse and helping create beginners. And then I just always stayed a few steps, no pun intended, a few steps ahead of them. Okay? Just think about something. It's like learning some kind of skill set and then rocking with it, then moving with it. So we have ebook, Service-based, again, service-based, a lot of things can fall under service-based. Coaching. Again, there are folks out there, life coaching, consulting. But think about this. Some of you watching this, maybe that friend always calls you. People always want to get you on the phone. They always want your advice. That needs to start costing something because your time is money. And it sounds crazy like, no, Stan, but if they're calling you all the time, if people are constantly asking you for advice, you're going to keep it. One of my biggest mistakes, I haven't really said this publicly, one of my biggest mistakes, I believe, is doing too much for free during the pandemic. Biggest mistake. Because, people accept free, but they don't respect free. Okay? There's some exceptions to the rule, but I just want to run this by you again. People accept free, but they don't respect free. I helped a lot of people during the pandemic, and then they went and paid people what they could have been paying me. But I was all in this, no, I got to help people. Got to give back. It's a tough time for people. So I did a lot of coaching, a lot of mentoring for free. And then those people took their money and paid someone else and never came back. One of the biggest mistakes I think I made. Again, I think it's sometimes the ego or the self-righteousness getting in the way. But when it comes to making money, you have to ask for the sale. You have to make offers to people to let them know that what you're offering costs something. And I was so busy trying to help. No, they need me. Let me help. Huge mistake. Huge. I'll never make it again. But I just want to make sure you don't make that same mistake also. That means, like coaching, if you're good at something, then help someone else be good at that thing too. You can coach them. So there are folks out there that are life coaches, that are lifestyle coaches. Heck, they're organizing. If you're great at organizing, you can coach people in so many different areas. So many different areas. But you have to be willing to ask for the money. That's the part where we become really shy and really uncomfortable. We're not really good at asking for the money. But what if you got better at it? What if you got better at asking for the money? Who could you become? How much money would you make if you got better at asking for it? How many times has someone been like, you know what, you're really good at this. Oh, you should charge for this. But you still aren't charging for it. At what point is it your fault? Okay. All right. So that's number 3. Okay. That's coaching. Number 4, some kind of course. And sometimes bringing up the word course can get overwhelming. And if you're looking for someone, and this is not, I'm not an affiliate at all, but obviously you've probably heard the name Danielle Leslie, probably heard the name Amy Porterfield. I've been following Amy Porterfield for more than a decade when she was doing webinars that convert. I'm sorry. A complete rock star, helps you build a Facebook group, she helps you do a whole lot of stuff. Danielle Leslie, same, help you create courses. But my point is, sometimes when you hear the word courses, it becomes a little overwhelming. You hear the word courses, you're like, create a course. I don't know, but listen, you could have a starter course. It's like a mini course. I always tell people, hey, like make 3 to 5 videos. There's 3 to 5 videos. Maybe they're 3 minutes long, 3 to 5 minutes long of you teaching something. And then you just package it together. That's it. But think about this. Now you have something to offer people. Right now you don't have anything to offer anyone. How are you going to sell what you don't have? Now, obviously, there's stuff called pre-selling and people do that. That's fine too. But my point is, like I said, the work only works when you work it. So get your behind a camera or get in front of the camera and start talking and then break it up because you know something, but are you willing to share something? Okay. Number 5 is my favorite. And then I'm gonna let y'all go. Number 5, paid speaking. That's how I live my life. I've paid for my life for the last almost 20 years. Speaking at colleges and high schools and companies and associations. Paid speaking. I mean, that's one of that to me, there's a better return than the stock market. It really is. Now, it's difficult to scale public speaking or paid speaking. You have your ways, and it ties into those other 4 that I mentioned. But paid speaking at colleges and high schools and even companies, that right there all by itself, if you're willing to put in the time, can give you that extra 5 figures in your income that you've been waiting for, that you've needed, that you want, that you deserve, if you're willing to work for it. That being said, listen, folks, you don't have to worry about being perfect. You just have to be willing to make some progress, because effort on fire beats knowledge on ice. If you know something, do something. They say when you know better, you do better. Now at least there's these 5 different things that you have to just begin to think about. Just think about them. There's an ebook, service-based business, coaching, a course, paid speaking. Now you have something to think about. What are you going to do with that? What are you going to do with that? The work only works when you work it. Be good to yourself and watch others be good to you too. Watch the world around you begin to change when you begin to change a little bit too. This is Stan Pearson II here for a show. Have a great one. Peace.